Hello, friends. It's Friday. Welcome to our Friday Village Gathering, your Friday weekly wrap up, where we'll pull one card for the collective and individual cards for those who request to wrap up your week. How did it go? What did you do? What did you learn? And how do you go forward? My name is Christiana Gaudette. I am your Tarot Fairy Godmother, and I'm so happy to see you all here today. As usual, I am multi-streaming, so wherever you are, if you're seeing me and you want to request a card to end your week, go right ahead. All right, let's hop on over to CardCam. What is this, you may ask? You see me very often with a Ciro Marchetti deck. He has made many of them. He's a good friend. I love his artwork, and so I use a lot of his decks. The truth is, this is my favorite Ciro Marchetti deck. You can tell because I have beat the you-know-what out of it. RSDSS, good to see you over on Twitch. Thank you for being a subscriber on Twitch. Looks like Lord of the Rings-ish. In a weird way, it really is. It's Legacy of the Divine Tarot. And what he did was he created this whole story. So yes, very, very epic tale-like. A story of a civilization that discovered they were going to be destroyed. So they put all of their wisdom into picture form and sent it to Earth. That's the mythology around this deck. And obviously it is a mythological story, Legacy of the Divine Tarot. But the images are fabulous. You'll have to let me know what you think of it. Soulfire Angel, so happy to see you on Twitch. Good to see everyone. Trey, you like the backs. Yeah, I do too. Ciro Marchetti was into steampunk before steampunk was a thing. He called it retro tech, I think. And yeah, for sure. All right, so let's look at the collective and then we'll get to the individual readings. And let's see. Audrey, thank you so much for being a member. And okay, true confessions. When we're setting up to do the Friday broadcast, I look to see, did someone let me know what the cards were on Monday, or do I have to go back and check? And I'll look for you first. I look for Caroline McLaughlin pretty quick as well, because the two of you are like very helpful in this regard. So Audrey, thank you for being the first person that I see who has reminded us what the collective cards were. We've got 3 of Pentacles reversed, 6 of Pentacles, and 4 of Cups. And Audrey reminds us the interpretation was about sharing and working together, resilience as a community. So let's take a look and see where we go from here. Okay, let's see. Starting with the 3 of Pentacles reversed, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups. The 2 of Wands reversed. My friends, collectively, have we forgotten how to dream? It's like, I don't like this. I don't like what it is saying about us right this minute, where it feels like we are so busy dealing with everything we have to deal with. It is hard for us to think about a better future, collectively, maybe as individuals as well. And so I feel like there really is a remedy here where we're all going to start to have to think about, what does a good future, a good, realistic, possible future for me, for my family, for my community, for the nation, for the planet? What does that look like? And that's, I think, what we're going to need to do. All right. And speaking of steampunk, I mentioned that this deck had sort of a steampunk feel to it. Trey says, I actually have a steampunk tarot deck. I never use it because I don't use theme decks for readings, just collection. You and I are similar in this way. Is it the Barbara Moore steampunk deck? I bet it might be. But there could be more than one too. All right. So, and Trey, thank you so much for being a member. You are first up. You are first up. So, Trey, you've been a member with us for 2 years. Thank you so much for being here. You had the Five of Pentacles on Monday. You had the Five of Pentacles on Monday. And today, Judgment reversed. And it's interesting. You said, well, they didn't take up the Kim Davis case. That was one good thing. And that kind of goes along with Judgment reversed. Like, we're all waiting for these shoes to drop, but maybe they're not all dropping on top of us right away, right? So for you, Trey, though, when I look at this, Five of Pentacles, Judgment reversed. I feel like there can be a tendency, maybe even this week, to really hyper-focus on the problems rather than on your good ability to find the solutions. And there are a lot of problems, and I'm not trying to gaslight you and say they aren't. Whether we're talking about your life on the planet, whatever, it is not easy, and you see that. But I feel like you could trust yourself more to have a good life on a hard planet. That's what I'm going to say here. Trust yourself more to have a good life on a hard planet. There we go. Oh, Sarah F., I love the mythology of this deck, right? And I love that Shira's just like, let me create some mythology. Why not? I think that's a beautiful thing. And so many people like to dig into the mythology that has already been created about tarot that is historically inaccurate. Why not create new mythology? It's so good. Trey, thanks, Christiana. I think a lot of people can relate to my reading. Yeah, absolutely, yes. All right, Febborn, you are up next. Let's go. Let's go. Hanged Man reversed on Monday, and now the Two of Cups. Take control of your life, and you will find the love in yourself and around yourself that is healing for you and healing for others. It's a beautiful thing. You're doing a great job, Febborn. Oh, Jeannie and Trey, thank you so much for that. All right, over on Instagram, Spunky Funky Me. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Here's a card for you. You end the week. Sorry, it is Friday, isn't it? Spunky Funky Me on Instagram, Ace of Swords. You did a great job this week. Being intelligent, having integrity, doing what you need to do, and taking care of your responsibilities. Very well done. Friends over on Twitch, good to see you. Let me know if you would like cards to end your week. Over on YouTube, we have Christina R. So good to see you. We're going to do you, your mom, and your sis. Okay, Monday, you had the Knight of Cups. And now the Five of Wands reversed. Like, I am making all of this be about your big job search and the idea of what compromises are you willing to make for the right job. And I think you're really figuring that out, recognizing that nothing is going to be perfect. You're figuring out what could work, and that's good. For Karen, your mom, Karen had the Knight of Pentacles to start the week, and now the Magician. Karen, I think you are making some headway in moving forward in all of the ways that you need to. I know it's been very difficult, but I think you are moving in the right direction. And Kim had the Ace of Swords. Kim had the Ace of Swords and now the Ten of Pentacles reversed. And I think you're really trying to deal with what is actually true. What is actually true for me, for my family? What is real? What is true? And what do I do with it? How do I deal with it? And you may think that you know some things that you haven't yet gotten all the information about. So wait for more information. Oh, beautiful Gemini. So good to see you. Here's a card for you, beautiful Gemini. Nine of Wands. I don't think it's been the easiest week for you. I feel like, beautiful Gemini over on Instagram, I feel like you're really having to be resilient and vigilant and deal with a lot, and it feels like a lot. And so what I'm going to say, don't take on more than you have to. If the things that you're dealing with are feeling heavy, give yourself a lot of grace and trust your ability to handle whatever you need to handle. It will be fine. But give yourself grace and don't take on more than you have to. Soulfire Angel over on Twitch. Good to see you. Soulfire Angel, you have the Four of Wands reversed. It may be that you're sort of trying to find what can and will be stable for you. This could be about friends. It could be about family. It could be about career. It could be about community. What is working and what is not working. And I think you may be getting some inklings that you need to maybe edit your contact list a little bit. Maybe you need to bring some new people in, and maybe there are some people in your life that are not as helpful as they could be. Again, with this card, going forward, do not be afraid to sort of jump out of your comfort zone and try some new things, meet some new people. All right. Vaishali, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here. The Moon reversed. Vaishali, this week, I think you really did some work to deeply look at what's going on and the changes and the fixes you can make. So I think you did a very good job with some deep learning and deep introspection this week. Soulfire Angel, you are very welcome. LP, so good to see you. Hope you're doing great. LP, the High Priestess reversed. What do we want to do with this? There may be ways, LP, that this week you are feeling out of balance. There may be ways that you're feeling guilty or bad about something, even if there's no reason for you to be feeling that way. One way or the other, LP, I feel like you need to find your inner guidance. LP is coming back like accurate. Okay, so you know what you need to do. This is what you need to do, right? So breathe that in, and that will help. Smile Soul 20, it is so great to see you. Thanks for being a member for as long as you have been, more than 4 years. And thanks for being a moderator. A wrap-up card for you. Knight of Coins, you did a great job this week showing up for the good things, showing up for the hard things, showing up for the things you didn't really want to show up for, but you showed up and you did a good job. That means something, and it does serve you as well as serve others. LP, you are very welcome. All right, Joanne Ellis, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Joanne Ellis, Queen of Cups reversed. There are some things objectively going on that I think are not making you happy. And I think that there's a question of like, how much do you have to sustain? And how much can you sort of do something different to try to create greater happiness for yourself? One way or the other, there is a sense that this has maybe not been an easy week, and nurturing your happiness going forward will indeed be important. Audrey M., we're back to you. It's your turn. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members-only emojis. You had the Six of Pentacles on Monday. Whew. And now Temperance. And I kind of love those two cards together, don't you? So, Temperance. Audrey, like this is so perfect. It's about your creativity. It's about your spirituality. It's about your healing journey. Like it's all the things. There's nothing you do that isn't in this card. And so I see this as just a whole affirmation of the life that you are living and the work that you are doing and what you are building for yourself. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Jennifer, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Sorry you had a bad week. Here is a card for you. The Magician. This is really focusing on communication. And yes, we know Mercury is in retrograde, which, for some may make communication feel even harder. But good communication is what is necessary. The other thing here is this really speaks to education. And so going forward, paying attention to education and communication are going to be really, really important. Caroline McLaughlin, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. Seven of Swords reversed is how you started. Okay, Caroline McLaughlin. You started with the Seven of Swords reversed, and now you have the Ten of Swords. And I think that's because you are dealing in your life with a very hard truth right now. There are good things going on in your life for sure, but there is also a very tough thing that you're dealing with. And your commitment is to be there and be present. And it is not easy. And so I think this is really affirming how hard this journey is. And we are sending you so much love. K Talks Live, I almost skipped you. Big thank you to the control room. K Talks, it is so good to see you. Hope you're doing really well. And here comes Jeannie. Did you accidentally skip K Talks? I did. Thank you. Thank you. I love how we take care of each other in this village. Thank you so much. Kay, happy to see you. So sorry I skipped over you. Hope you're doing great. Hope baby Skylar is doing great. Here is a card for you, K Talks. It's the Hanged Man. And, this is basically, in a lot of ways, the card of it is what it is. But we have to be spiritual about it. We have to practice patience. We have to recognize the spiritual purpose of our suffering. And so we do know that this is maybe not the easiest time, or this was not the easiest week. But I feel like you're dealing with it the only way a person can, which is kind of to surrender to it and let it be. And that's what you're doing, and it's fine. Not easy, but fine. And Caroline says, thank you so much. Really appreciate you in our village. Well, thank you so much. And Shatiria, speaking of our group, calling it an amazing collective. Thank you so much. I agree. What's the new Taylor Swift line? Everybody's so punk on the internet. But here we are just being kind to each other for the very most part. And I appreciate that so much. All right, here we go. Claire C., my good friend. Hope you're doing great. Thanks for being a member. You had the Two of Cups reversed on Monday, and now the Empress. And I think there's a whole story here because you just want to love everybody. You just want to take care of everybody. You just want to do for everybody and have that be, a mutual thing. You want to be in a big, loving, mutual aid society with everyone you care about. But not everyone you care about knows how to do that. And I think that's really been something you've been struggling with this week. But what you've discovered is that creative, nurturing energy that is within you is appreciated by the people who can receive it. So I feel like you're finding your ways to be in that energy, and it's a beautiful thing. All right. Jenna Perkins, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. Three of Cups reversed on Monday. How was your week? I don't love that. Death reversed. Well, however it was, it's going to continue for a while. Here's the thing. I feel like, Jenna Perkins, you are doing something that is not easy. In fact, you're doing a bunch of things all at the same time that are not easy. And what you have to do is just stay the course and do what you have to do. And I think that's what you did this week, and that's what you must do. Recognize this is not the easiest. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But by doing what you need to do, you are moving forward and you will achieve your goals. Divian, I haven't got to you yet, but I certainly will. Horse-drawn portrait, good to see you. Thanks for being here on Twitch. Wrap me up, please. Card-wise, that is. I love that. It reminds me of that. I love that song by the Fabulous Thunderbirds. Wrap it up, I'll take it. I love that. I really, if I could have it licensed in the background, I'd be playing that for our Friday gathering. So much fun. Let me wrap you up with a card. Okay. Horse-drawn portrait. Here we go. Wrapping you up with the Knight of Cups. What a good job you did this week, moving through the world with love, with kindness. What a good job you did this week, pursuing what you want and need for yourself and bringing good things to others. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, Claire C., absolutely. I have been struggling. I'm so sorry. Sending you so much love. Oh, and your Friday frosty beverage super chat won't go through. I'm trying to fix it if I can. Well, thank you for the thought so much. I appreciate you so much, Claire. Horse-drawn portrait. You're going to listen to the song. There you go. Perfect. You are very welcome. All right, where are we? It's time. 1 second. Vaishali, yes, I did get to you. You can scroll back and you will find yourself there. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Up next, we have Juby. So glad you're here. Thank you for being a member. Wrapping up the week, your Monday card was the Fool reversed, and now the Five of Wands reversed. So I put those two cards together, Juby, and I'm like, how do we move here? I feel like you're being very cautious. And I don't know if you're intentionally being cautious, if it's caution caused by anxiety. I'm not saying don't be cautious, but I am saying it may be feeling heavy, and it may be feeling heavy because it is. But in your little world, I think you could lighten it up and have some more fun. I do. All right. Ranji, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. We're going to do you and Ferdinand. Okay, so for you, Ren, you had Justice reversed. Oh, and now the Devil, right? Justice reversed and now the Devil. Well, those two things go together so very well, don't they? In not the best way. I feel like you're dealing with some stuff, Ren. I feel like not the easiest week. There's a lot weighing on you. And the advice here is if something is unfair and there's nothing you can do about it, don't get mad, get even. What do I mean by that? I mean, anger is not going to help you, but the best way to get even is to find your way around it. Do not be held back by other people's cruelty or stupidity if you can help it. Find your way around it. Now, for Ferdinand, Ferdinand had the Magician and now the Four of Wands. I can tell you for a fact, Ren, that Ferdinand is very happy to be your husband. I can tell you that. And somehow this week, I think you made him very happy. Ferdinand, when I look at you, I see you are in a space where you can really use your skills, your abilities, and grow in ways that benefit you and benefit the people around you. Over on Instagram. All right. We've got Anka K, who is Anna K on YouTube and a member. We appreciate you. Wrapping you up on Instagram with the Three of Wands. We don't hate this at all. Something you did. Anna, something you did this week turned out very well, whether you know it or not. For me, this is very much a card of success. So you may be having some success that you're aware of. You may be having some success that you don't know about yet. But one way or the other, you're doing good things and you're making good things happen. And RKFBE, so good to see you. Thanks for being here over on Instagram. The High Priestess. This week, I think you did a good job internally, having your internal balance, feeling sort of comfortable with your spiritual support. And I also think externally, you did things very well and precisely. So like, no one should find fault with you right now because you're doing everything the right way. Caroline McLaughlin, I need to say a huge, huge thank you to you for the super sticker. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Barbie Bird, good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. We're going to do you and Michelle. Michelle, of course, is Mixuir. You're both members. We appreciate both of you. And you're here. Yay. All right. So, Barbie, you started with the world and end with the Two of Pentacles reversed. Man, if that's not tarot and if that's not life on the planet, I don't know what is. You know, because the world is like so expansive and big and spiritual. And the Two of Pentacles reversed is like, oh, the mundane stuff. I have to dust, I have to vacuum, I have to do all of this work, blah, 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 blah. And sort of this sense of like not having enough, not having the resources that you need. So this week, on one hand, you have it all. And on the other hand, it's just a slog and it's not easy. And Barbie's like, haha, so legit. So maybe not the easiest week, but keep your eye on the big picture. That's the key. Mixuir, you are here, and that's cool because I'm about to read for you. Mixuir, Michelle, King of Swords reversed is how you started, and you end with the Two of Cups. At the end of the day, Michelle, the thing that will save you, why this is your message of the week, I do not know, but it is. The thing that will save you from the effery of the world in general is the fact that you have such a good heart. And your good heart sometimes really hurts you, but really it's going to find the connections that you need for your happiness, for your creativity, and for your healing. And I think this week you did a good job sort of managing the up and the down of difficult people versus good people that help you. And that's the whole thing. The difficult people are hard, but the good people make it all worth it. All right. Betty Fletcher, you are up next. Betty, thank you for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. Betty Fletcher, you get the Three of Swords reversed. I love this card in its reversal because it's a real focused healing, whether of body, mind, or spirit, whether for yourself or for others. You have been on a profound healing journey here, and I hope this week you saw some real signs of how far you are coming and what good you are doing. All right. And feedback, okay. Let's see, from Juby. Thank you so much. I tend to overthink. Oh, hang on. It scrolled on me. Okay. I tend to overthink and it can become overwhelming. So I'll try to be more conscious of my thoughts this week. And yeah, good idea. A lot of us have this issue. Barbie, not a bad week, just very mundane. You know I'm good at seeing the bigger picture, so this all tracks. Good, good, good. Mick Shuir, someone once described me as stubbornly kind and stubbornly optimistic, LOL. Also hung out with one of my besties last night, which was quite healing. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Candy B, so good to see you. We're going to do you and Marlon. Okay, on Monday, you had the world. And now Candy B, the Page of Swords. So I feel like you have the vision and you're learning how to communicate it. You're learning how to say what you see and say what you need. And this is a very good thing for you. You're learning and you're communicating. Marlon had the Ace of Wands. And now the Two of Cups reversed. So I feel like Marlon, I feel like in a lot of ways, you have the right ideas, you have the right motivation, but in your execution, you don't always think about how what you're saying and doing is going to land. And that can create issues, and that may have happened this week. Candy, lovely and so true. Michelle Matheny, so good to see you. I know you've been so busy recently. I'm happy when you can stop by. So glad you're here. All right. Melissa Grosso, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. Would love a wrap-up card, starting with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And all of my daily pulls this week have been reversals. Delightful. Not that reversals are bad, but when it's all reversals, you know something is up, right? Okay, Wheel of Fortune reversed is how we started. Knight of Cups is how we end. So the thing is, you're not the one turning, Melissa, you are not the one turning yourself upside down. The world is turning you upside down. The Wheel of Fortune is turning. And even though it was upside down, it is turning in your direction. And you are doing what you need to do to pursue what you need to pursue. You're going to be fine here. Really. You did a very good job this week. All right. Lisa E. And I do want to acknowledge Lisa makes a monthly off-app contribution to support the work that we're doing here on YouTube. So I just wanted to acknowledge I did receive that for this month and most appreciated. All right, Lisa E., here we go. We're going to do you and your daughter, Jenna. All right. For Lisa, we had the Knight of Wands and now the King of Cups. And I think this is all about you sort of figuring out the sort of people you want to have in your life. Whether we're talking about friends, romance, whatever, I think you're figuring out the kind of people that you feel connected to. And that's a good thing. For Jenna, Jenna started with the Eight of Swords and now the Five of Wands. I think Jenna is really not sure what to do next. And I think this week, there's a lot of anxiety and there's a sense of, I'm not sure which string to pull on or which way to go. And so we may just be letting some time pass to try to come up with the way forward. All righty, Teresa. Thank you for being here, Teresa. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Thanks for being a moderator. Five of Wands on Monday, a growth week for sure, but a painful one. Okay, here's your wrap-up card. The Empress reversed. So I feel like there's this intersection between the difficulties in your family of origin and how that sort of played out in your adult life and the things that are getting triggered in your job. Like the Venn diagram of those things is a circle. And so you are really in a place of healing from things that have been hurtful to you for your entire life and taking responsibility for the healing, but not for what caused it. That's key. me know what you think. Lisa E., you are very welcome. Okay. Lily, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. 7 of Wands on Monday, and now the Sun. So I love those two cards together for you, Lily. Like if I could put those two cards in a sentence for you, it would be, I'm going to do, excuse me, that was not part of the sentence. That was me. However, it's interesting that there could be some resistance for you or for someone else. Like I have to pay attention to what happens in my body, right? So there may be resistance to this, Lily, but here's the reality. You are deciding that you are going to do what makes you happy, what feels best for you, what puts you in your best position. And if other people do not like it, I think you're learning to make it their problem, not yours. That's what I think. And again, there's some resistance there, but it's what you're doing. It's a good thing. Kenneth King, so good to see you. Hope you're doing great. Right? And you're trying to figure out where you and your sister should move. So when we look at this past week, Kenneth, you know, so much of this is about your mother and your mother's continued presence in spirit around you. The more that you can recognize that she is still guiding you, the more you'll be able to find your direction. Spirit connections. We know that's Christine Hallowell. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member, and thanks for using members only emojis. 5 of Pentacles reversed on Monday. And now the 3 of Pentacles reversed. So these reversed Pentacles, I think some of this could be about some frustration in getting things done, but I think a lot of it is the lead up into launching a career. And the lead up can always be sort of scary, but I think you're doing the right things. All right, DH. DH, so good to see you. Thank you so much for being a member. Hope you're doing great. Here's a card for you. The 9 of Swords reversed. We're grateful for the reversal. I feel like this week there were some things, maybe ongoing, not just this week, some things that have been worrisome, some things that have been difficult. But the clouds seem to be clearing. So you may have gotten some healing, some clarity, some new information, or just a little bit of a break this week to help you sort of clear the skies and move yourself forward. It is not easy, but we seem to be moving in the right direction. All right, over on Instagram, we have got Magic with Hamza. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. You had the Hermit on Monday. And now Death reversed. I think it's interesting that they are 2 major arcana cards from the same septenary. It's all about acceptance. It's all about your emotional healing and basically letting your spiritual wisdom that you use to heal others, letting that heal you. I think that's what you're working on. The Vault Fragrance Edition. So nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Here's a card for you. Oh, the Vault is Tana? Tana! Huh. So good to see you. Glad you're here, Robin Renee. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so Tana, good to see you on Instagram. King of Wands, Tana. This week, I think you did a good job being creative, being a strong leader, being strong in your own sense of determination and motivation. Well done. Robin Renee, who is now, you've changed your name on Instagram. You are Rob Renall, PhD. There you go. Yeah. And we all know this is Dr. Aled. And maybe you don't know, but some of you do. This is the person who gave me my name, Tarot Fairy Godmother, many years ago on YouTube. So, Robin Renee, here we go. Temperance. I think that you are doing such a good job in real time, finding your solutions, identifying your problems, being creative, putting things together, trying to be both patient and proactive. It's a lot, but you're doing it and you're doing it well, and it's going to take you where you need to go, Robin Renee. Seriously. All right. We've got baby cakes. So good to see you. Baby cakes, glad you are here. On Monday, you had the 9 of Cups reversed. And now you have Strength reversed. Baby cakes, I think there's a lot going on for you, and maybe it's even the time of year. I wonder if you have like seasonal issues. Because it feels frustrating right now. It feels like it's not going the way you want, and you're frustrated. And I acknowledge that, and I see that, and we are all sending you love. But let's not have that frustration send you into a place of internal darkness. You don't want that. So there is frustration, but let's try to spend time in the kitchen and cook some good food. I know that always helps you. All right. Robin Renee, you are a Sagittarius, and it is the card of Sagittarius. Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And I didn't think about it, but I'm glad you did. Which means you have a birthday coming up in not too long. All right. Jeannie Mnuchin, my good friend, glad you are here. Thank you so much for being a member. Monday was the devil. I remember you're still out of sorts, slightly sick, and overwhelmed. I understand. Jeannie, I realize that death and the devil are not our favorite cards, but given that, I mean, together, they're actually helpful. Like things are going to start to move. Things are going to start to move. We're going to start to move forward. And you're already doing some things to put things in motion. You're doing what you need to do. Change will come. Joyous Ocean, so good to see you being in St. Thomas or St. Thomas. Like, how are we supposed to say that? Glad you're there. Anyway, St. Thomas? Let's see. Here we go. Joyous Ocean, thank you for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. Let's see. Dion had the Tower. And now the Knight of Cups reversed. And I think there's something there, Dion, where you want to help every single person and you want to do everything you can for every single person, but there's only so much you can do. And you've been trying to figure out what those boundaries should be. And I think maybe you're getting some insight on that. And for Jada had Judgment. And now the Knight of Wands. And I think Jada really is trying to put the past in the past and move on to a positive future with a positive mindset. Not the easiest thing, but doing it. Okay, a couple of bits of feedback from Christian Hallowell, Spirit Connections. Thank you, Christiana, spot on. I agree with you. I'm on the right path. Looking forward to launching a new career. Patience is my friend, right? And patience is such a hard friend. So true. Baby cakes. Thank you, Christiana. You know me too well. I got gifted a parsley plant that I need to chop. I hope that will make me feel a bit better. This has been hard indeed. The jobs that are coming my way get more ridiculous by the minute. I am so sorry. But yeah, I do parsley is such a magical herb anyway. I do think that will make you feel better. I do. All right. Here we go. Sarah F. So good to see you. We're going to do you and Zach. Oh, no. This morning has been very trying. Stupid landlord emailed me about noise complaints when he never answers if we have issues, right? Right? I understand completely. All right, Sarah. Ending your week? Well, there's that Two of Pentacles reversed. Everything is frustrating right now. It feels like you're feeling like you don't have enough time, money, energy, whatever. Like everything feels like a lot right now. And sometimes you just have to breathe and recognize that maybe this is the case and maybe it's not. Maybe you're feeling it that way and maybe it really is the case, but there's nothing you can do about it. So you just kind of have to breathe and roll with it, right? That's all you can do. Not easy. And when we look at Zach, okay, yeah, Eight of Swords. We've got some anxiety here too. It's not been an easy week for the two of you. But again, the way forward is to put your energy where you can, do something positive, even if it's just making a cup of tea and having a nice moment. Sometimes it's all you can do. Okay, over on Twitch, I'm afraid I'm going to mispronounce your name. Is it Louvre Savoir? I'm not sure how to say your name. Please correct me, but thank you for being here and thank you for following. We really appreciate you. Here is a reading for you. Louvre Savoir on Twitch. Eight of Coins or Eight of Pentacles reversed. And again, thanks for the follow. There's something that you want to be learning that you're not learning, or there's something that you need to be doing that you're not doing. This could be about money. It could be about work. It could be about school. It could just be in life. And if there are things you know you need to do or that you want to do, and you're finding a hard time getting there, don't be upset with yourself. Don't make yourself the bad one. It's not your fault. Even if you think it is, even if other people think it is, it's not. Give yourself grace as a way of moving yourself forward. Believe it or not, it will work. All right. Also on Twitch, Jay Cardoso, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm very well. Hope you're well too. Let me know if you would like a card to wrap up your week. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Where are we? Lumen, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Monday, you had the Two of Swords reversed. And now the 10 of Wands reversed. So Lumen, I feel like there are people who really want to support you and really want to help you, but I feel like it's hard for you to know how to put all of that together. This, I think, may have been a very confusing week for you. One way or the other, don't take anything too hard. Everything is going forward okay. Just know that you have more support than you sometimes realize that you do. All right, over on Instagram. So good to see you. Oh, Mrs. O, I'm so sorry I missed you. I'm going to try to get you in real quick. Tower reversed, not the easiest week, but you're doing what you need to do. You're doing what you need to do. That's the important thing. And let's see, Tanya Tabitha, good to see you. Thanks for being here. The World reversed. There are things there are conclusions that you're drawing, but you don't have all the information. Before you make decisions, make sure you have all the information. JS Type, good to see you. So you've got a specific question. I'm dealing with Aquarius. Does he see me as a serious match or just fun? On Friday, we pull a card to discuss the week that we just had. we may find your answer in this card. So what this card says is there is something going on here this week that has not been nurturing your happiness. So I am feeling like what's going on here is not taking your own happiness into consideration. That's what I would have to say about that. And Gypsy Grounded in Reality, that's Adrija. Good to see you. Here's a card for you. Two of Wands. Two of Wands. This week, I think, Gypsy Grounded in Reality, I think you've done a lot to think about your future and think about how you want your life to be. And I think you're doing it in a positive way, which is a good thing. Okay. So Louvre Savoir, please DM me. Let me know. Would love to hear the story. Absolutely, DM me. Please. All right. Jackie Masters, you are up next, I think. Is that true? No, you're coming up. I'm sorry. I just saw you and got excited. Hang in there, Jackie. You're coming. Ashley, you are up next. I'm excited to read for you as well. I'm glad you're here. This is for Ashley. Eight of Swords reversed. Ashley, I feel like there's ways things did not move the way you wanted to this week. You may be feeling a little stuck. You may be feeling uninspired and not sure how to move yourself forward. I would say just breathe and let the universe do it for you. I think it will just naturally happen. Whatever's sticking for you right now, if you don't think about it too much, you'll move yourself forward. All right. And let's see, Shivea, is that how I would say that? Over on Twitch. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And Jay Cardosa on Twitch. Jay Cardosa, over on Twitch, here's a card for you. The Knight of Swords reversed. I feel like this week did not go as swiftly or as well for you as you would have liked. And the key for you to now is to figure out what is really true. I feel like there are some questions and there's some lack of clarity floating around you. Your goal is to figure out what is true. All right. And Cassandra, I am seeing you come in. Obviously, you're in the queue. And I do hope that you book a session. That would be fabulous. Oh, Shiva, just say Shiva. Okay, well, that's easy. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Shiva, let me know if you would like a card, and thank you for being here. All right, Christina over on YouTube. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 4 years. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Monday's card was the Six of Wands, and now the Nine of Wands. Like, I feel like you're doing a good job and you're doing what you need to do, but it is not easy. This has not been an easy week. There are things that weigh on you. And what I'm going to say is you are objectively winning and doing what you need to do, but also make sure you're doing good self-care and you're doing what you need to do for you. All right. Jackie Masters, I knew you were coming up. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. And thanks for using members only emojis. We started with the Ace of Swords. And now we have the World reversed. And the key is, Jackie, when you took this job, you said, this is not my long-term career. I'm taking this job for now. I'm working on a long-term career. At the same time, I think you've been on a personal journey of healing and improvement. And I feel like this week may not have been entirely the easiest, but I do feel like you have a lot more clarity. And I do feel like you're recognizing this is temporary. I have a vision for what comes next, and that is a perfect thing. Oh, Ashley, thank you for this feedback. Makes sense. I hate my job even more. The higher ups, because they changed our bonus structure. Of course they did. Now we're doing more work for less money. Of course. I hate it when that happens. I'm so sorry. All right. Heather, here we go. Thank you for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. We appreciate you. You get death, but you know, like, this is not about physical death. It's about change. And you have been going through so many changes. I mean, you did get married like 5 minutes ago, not this week, but this year. But beyond that, the internal change is significant and healing and good. And you are embracing other changes that are good for you. So it's not easy, but it's good. All right. Here it is, Divya Shamrisha. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. The Four of Pentacles reversed. This week, you were certainly generous with others and certainly willing to stretch outside your own comfort zone. Ultimately, this feels like a very positive thing for you. At the same time, going forward, be careful about your finances. Just not in a scary way, just be a little careful. All right, Martha Vink, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. Monday's card was the Seven of Pentacles. And now the Eight of Swords reversed. I feel like I think all of this is about coming to terms with your retirement. You've had a lengthy career that in a way began when you were a teenager, right? Because that's when you first got your calling. And now you're getting ready for a whole new chapter, but wanting to tie this up in the best way possible. And I think you're making peace with all of it. I think we're starting to get some sense of balance and anticipation here, and I'm happy for it. Hippie Pippy, so good to see you. Did you see your picture in the newsletter this week? It's there. All right. Hippie Pippy, thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. We're going to do you, Pamela, and Pamela's daughter. And of course, Pamela is a member here as well. Okay. Here we go. Pip, you started with the Empress and now the Three of Pentacles, which is sort of the minor arcana version of the Empress, if you think about it. Three of Earth. That's what the Empress is. So you are doing exactly what you need to be doing to nurture all the things you need to nurture in your life, Pip. Very well done. Okay, Pamela. Pamela, I think you had a good week this week. I think you had a lot of satisfaction and you're seeing your hard work come to fruition in a very positive way. It's kind of beautiful. Pamela's daughter. Five of Coins reversed. I think this week you may have found some new opportunities that you need. Very good. And some feedback. Heather, Christiana, I so appreciate that death card and I can feel it in my life. It actually makes me so happy. Changes from within. Beautiful. And Martha Vink, thank you. Sounds about right. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, here we go. Theranaya, you are up next. Thank you for being here. Theranaya, you have the Nine of Wands reversed. I think this card is stalking us. Theranaya, this week you may have felt a little overwhelmed and under-supported. You got through it. You did okay. Do what you have to do to give yourself some self-care and give yourself a little bit of rest this weekend if you can. Because I feel like it was a tough week. Good job getting through it. And if you find that you are being over vigilant about something, good idea not to do that. All right, here we go. Tiff, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. On Monday, you had the Tower, and it has been a difficult week for sure. All right. Well, you started with the Tower and you ended with Justice. And as much as it's been a difficult week, and as much as Tower is a difficult card, you put these two major arcana cards together and we say, you are going through some changes that will bring you to a greater sense of balance and fairness in your life. In the long run, it will be a good thing. In the short run, I know it's difficult, but you're moving in the right direction. And Michelle Metheny, I know you were here. We did not see a request from you. Let me know if you would like a card. And coming up to Cassandra Revelta. Thank you for being a member for more than 3 years. I need you, making an appointment for a short reading ASAP. I've got time this weekend. My Friday is going downhillish. When I meet with my boss for my planning period, is she going to fire me or am I going to walk out? Okay, may I have a card? Here we go. Actually, neither. You've got the Six of Wands, and so I actually feel like you may not be happy about it, but you're doing better than you think you are. Definitely reach out for a reading, but I promise you all will be well. I do promise you that. Absolutely. Oh, and a card for your mom as well. Absolutely. Raquel, thank you for being a member here. You're Cassandra's mom. And we've got the Emperor reversed for you. There are definitely some things going on that are not to your liking. And I think there's some question about how do you not let that get next to you? How do you allow that to exist but not let it get next to you? That's the question. That's what I think the work is. And Tiff says, always moving through to something better and better. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, there it is, Michelle. There it is. Yes, I'd love a card, please and thank you. You got it. Here we go, Michelle. And Michelle, thank you so much for being a member. We really appreciate you. And you get the Knight of Coins. Like this year or last year, or whenever it was, the universe really threw you a real curveball. And you have risen to the occasion significantly. And you're doing a good job. And you really showed that this week with the Knight of Pentacles. Well done. Oh, Jackie, thank you for this feedback. Thank you. Your vision gives me hope. Yep, there it is. All right. So, from my perspective and from the perspective of the control room, it's last call for readings, y'all. If we accidentally missed you, we never want to do that. It's always accidental. If you're here and you haven't requested, it's time to request if you're just coming in. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the members, the moderators, the followers, the subscribers, all the people wherever you are who are part of this digital village. I am planning to be back here tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time with your Saturday Psychic Sampler and Sunday at 9:30 a.m. with your newsletter recap. I appreciate all of you, and I do want to let you know I do have openings for readings. Even later on today and this weekend, you can get in, and there's a link to book with me. So go ahead, schedule that reading. Oh, here we go. We've got someone on Instagram. Hang on. Lachinsky. Is that how I pronounce it? It's good to see you, and I'm glad you're here. It could be Lakinsky, too, I suppose. But anyway, you're here, and I'm glad you're here on Instagram. Here's a card for you. The Knight of Wands reversed. I feel like this week you did not get to do or complete or accomplish what it was you really wanted to do, and that feels weird. But don't worry, you'll get there. Just hang on and keep moving towards your goals. And if you're not sure what your goals are, give yourself some space and some grace to figure it out. Seriously. All right. My friends, thank you so very much. We appreciate you so much. Go ahead and book your appointments. Join us for our live streams this weekend. And thank you so much for being a part of our digital village. I appreciate you so much. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. Take care.